All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome. I'm Abby from Butterfly Effect Wears, and John is back here uh, off screen.
Good morning.
But we are doing a quick stream to talk about the colorway that we're doing this week, some of the things that we have coming up. I am just going to be showing some of the blanks and the different stages of the pen. And then a little bit later, John will probably get to turning some more of them. He's already got started this week. He's always got to be kind of a step or two ahead of me as far as the way that we work. Um, yeah, so if you guys know us, then you know this information, but I'm gonna say it again anyways. I make all of our blanks, all of our resin blanks. John does all of the turning on his lathe, and then they come back to my lathe for sanding and polishing to be released usually every Saturday in our Etsy shop. So this is what we're doing every week. This is our full-time gig, has been for 5 years, and we love it and are so lucky and grateful to get to do this as our job. So part of my job is planning what colors we do every week. And there's a lot of things that go into that. Sometimes it's just because I want to do those colors. This week was because we've had requests. Our customers really like the metallic flakes inside resin. So we recently did one that was called Honeybee, and it was gold with gold flake. Turned out great. I really love the way that it was unfocused now. You can turn the screen if you need to focus it. John's playing cameraman right now. He set all of the actual nitty gritty details up for me because I definitely do not have the patience for that. But anyways, yeah. So this I wanted to use silver flakes, silver metallic flakes, and I asked for some opinions on our Instagram stories. I got a lot of great recommendations that probably some of them will end up into blanks later, but what I decided to go with was a remix, etc. of one of our very first colorways that we did that I don't think even at that time we did entire drops of colorways when we first started. We just did a few here and there. So let's see. I've got some of them set up over here. Sorry that the numbers are upside down. So this right here is actually one of the originals. We called this, oh, there we go, roller derby. That was the name. It is a solid black, solid white. It's got like an iridescent pink, and then it has kind of smaller silver glitter flake kind of thing going on. So this was the original. So this is the idea I wanted to take. And I decided to do pinker paint, hot paint. Um, when I lean over to do this, it like takes me completely off. So I don't know if that matters. Anyways, so these are this week's colorway. So I went with a neon, which is UV reactive, and for those that don't know what that is, that means that it is going to react to a black light. So it does not glow in the dark, but think neon colors at a rave. It does reflect back kind of crazy. So this has got like a neon pink. We've got our solid black, our very cool ghost pigment violet right here. It's like iridescent and shimmery. And then the middle has silver hollow glitter along with those metallic plates that I was talking about. So that's how they come to John. I go through and number them. We have a shape chart that we work from each week just to take another step off of John so that he can just be like, okay, yeah, this is the number, the shape that Abby wants it to be, and that's what he turns it as. Sometimes he mixes it up, which is fine, but this is just for ease for us to keep track of things. So yeah, they come as solid resin blanks. John then drills them for our tips and for turning. So those are what the blanks look like. Right here are some of the pens. These are actually mega minis. We do 6 different size pens to accommodate for all different ways that people hold their diamond painting pens when they're diamond painting. from a thinner style up to a thicker style. It really varies from person to person what their favorite is. So this is what it looks like after John turns and shapes them. So you can tell that they're like a matte kind of finish. You can see the tooling lines. John, because he is very skilled and has a lot of experience, these all come to me pretty darn smooth. If you take a look at other turning projects, sometimes they do not turn out that way because it's pretty difficult to get a super smooth finish even prior to sanding and polishing. So these are what they look like after they come off of John's lathe and they're ready for my lathe. And because today is my sanding day, I've got some of those already sanded for you guys to see, to show what in general they're going to look like. Now, it's just like a book, just like that saying about don't judge a book by its cover. You can't ever really judge a blank by what it looks like on the outside, because resin, when I pour it, it's a 2-part liquid resin. So completely liquid, completely clear, and I mix in each of the colors individually and then have obviously there's a technique and a lot more technical stuff, but I have to pour it in that liquid form. And liquid, as most people know, kind of likes to do its own thing. There's only so much of controlling it, so I never know exactly how they're going to turn out on the inside after John takes those layers away to turn them. So here are some of them for this week. I'm really happy the way that they're turning out. It is exactly what I envisioned. That is not always the case. But you can see that we've got that super UV reactive neon pink. We've got a little bit of white. You can see that. This is that ghost violet pigment here that has that beautiful iridescent shimmer. And then in the center, we've got silver holographic glitter that is super sparkly. Let's see if I can get closer. And there we go. So the silver holographic glitter is super sparkly. And then we've got these big metallic flakes that, like, look at that reflection from that metallic flake in there. So that is how they are going so far. I'm really happy with them. Hi, John from other accounts. He's making comments in the corner. But yeah, we thought that this would be a fun way to kind of show some of the things that go into making our pens, because I know that like if we don't show it, then most people won't know how it's actually, handmade. That's something that we're super proud of. We're super proud of to be a veteran owned. John is a Air Force veteran and family run business here in the U.S. We do every step of our process. There is no part of our process that somebody else does. It is all handmade here in the U.S. Even our supplies, and which especially right now, we're very grateful that the supplies that we use the most are also U.S. based businesses. So like everything except for the tips, the standard tips are handmade here in the U.S. So which one? Oh, the mic blue. I don't know the details. John's making sure, I think, that everyone can hear me. Anyways, we are truly a handmade business every step of the way, from our raw product that I then make into the pretty colors that John then turns, and it comes back to me to sand and package. The two of us do all the jobs, wear all the hats around here. And yeah, so the reason that we came about doing our diamond painting pens and running our business this way, as in the fact that John's got all of the solid rods for the week, John turns them all, and I finish them all in that week, and then releasing them in a drop, that allows us to run it in a certain way that anybody who purchases a pen is going to get it fairly quickly. Like, it's going to be a quick turnaround. And that's not the case for any sort of custom work, which is, some other people's business strategy, which is awesome. That means that people get, a little bit more customization. However, from what we know and have seen and have heard, many of those you're going to wait months, if not longer than that, to get your pen, to get your product. So we really like to be able to finish them all up, have you see exactly what you're going to get. So like if you purchase a pen from our shop, that picture, that's the pen that you get. And then you get it usually within a couple of weeks. Even our international orders tend to get there pretty quickly. So that is a big reason why we do what we do the way we do it, and are a little bit different from the way that other people run their businesses. That's also partially because I make all of our material. We do not buy blanks from other makers, so that we don't have to wait for blanks to be made, shipped to us, and then have people choose them and then do all of that. For a little bit more customization, we do have a Patreon, which we give away pens every single month. We give away 2 pens and a putty each month for our different tiers in Patreon. In Patreon, our butterfly tier members are the ones that have access to a little bit more customization. So because we've been doing this for 5 years, because I make a lot of blanks, do a lot of different colors, we have quite a collection of blanks that vary greatly, and our Patreon members are allowed to choose blanks from that to be turned into any of our shapes. So that way they can get their favorite size, their favorite kind of colors. Yeah. Let's see, John's helping me with prompt on the in the chat. Yes, we turn all week and sand, and then I do listings, and we do our release on Saturday. Occasionally it has been Sunday recently, but that's because we were on planes. But I make sure to announce that on all of our different social medias. But yes, Saturdays, 5 p.m. Eastern, we put all the pins up in the shop, and then that allows people to buy on Saturday and Sunday throughout the weekend, and that lets me pack all of our packages on Monday. We usually get dropped off on Tuesday morning. So it is like you buy it and it goes out. And I know that one of the things that just in general for most people use Amazon, right? And Amazon Prime, part of the beauty is you can order a product and get it in like that day, the next day, within a couple of days. And people have gotten used to that sort of turnaround. And we, as well, just like as individuals and I guess as a business, don't like not fulfilling quickly, you know what I mean? So we don't like things hanging around or people having to wait a long time. So we really do our best to get those out quickly. The only time that changes is when we are not in town and just aren't here to be able to do that. But like I said, we have Instagram, we have a Facebook page, we have a Facebook group, we have TikTok, and all of that stuff gets announced on all of those platforms every single week. So if you're interested in purchasing your pen, or paying attention to the weekly colorways, you can find all of that information on any of those things. We even have an email list, which I send out the weekly colorway to as well, for those who do not want social media accounts. Now, that being said, you don't have to actually have an account to see any of the posts, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you can just like type in Instagram and find us, and not have to have any sort of account for those that don't, because we do have some wonderful people that much prefer just finding out things from the email list. What else, John? Standing over there. What have I missed? Thinking about making a Wednesday standard day for YouTube. Yes. So I have commitment issues for stuff like that, but we are going to try to make Wednesday our day when both John and I come on to this YouTube channel and do kind of a quick, catch up, let you guys know what's going on, what we're working on, what that week's color is, what's upcoming. So that's essentially what I'm doing. And John's turning multiple days of the week, but setting up this for this stream for butterfly effect wearers is kind of the plan. Likely it'll be noons on Wednesday. When I have enough willpower to commit to it, I'll try to announce it. But if you're interested in seeing streams like this, the best thing is to be subscribed and to hit the notification bell so that it tells you when we're live, just in case it is a random thing. But yeah, so John actually not only is working with this week's colors, but we also are working on another colorway that's not going to be for a couple weeks because I am going out of town with my dad here in a couple of weeks. And that's not going to change our drops or shipping schedule, which it does sometimes, but I'll give a little sneak peek for those who actually are coming in and watch this later. But so this is going to be the colorway for a couple of weeks from now. So this is a new version of our cherry blossom pins. We have done them for the last 3 or 4 years, and I've updated them slightly every year. So these have these super cute pink flowers in them, and then the beautiful blue sky and the beautiful pinks of cherry blossoms. So I've always done them somewhere around Mother's Day, which it's going to end up being, I think, the weekend, 2 weekends after Mother's Day. I don't know. Let me pull out my handy dandy calculator, or not my calculator, my calendar. Use a calculator too, the calendar. Okay, so let's see. Yes, it's not this weekend or next weekend. It is going to be the 24th drop for those pink and blue cherry blossom pins, which has been one of our most requested ones, along with the ones that I'm actually setting up over on my my resin bench to be poured next, which is Sandy Beach. It looks just like it sounds, and that is going to be a June colorway. And we're already partway into May, which is absolutely crazy. We just got back. Did we just get back last week? I don't even know how long it's been. We had a whole week. It's been a whole week. We came back on Saturday, not this recent Saturday, but the one before. I don't know. I don't even see. It is that time of year where like the kids are still in school, but they're like over it and we're wrapping up, and we're trying to like do all of our stuff. We end up having a lot of travel kind of towards the summer up until the fall. So I am like mentally multiple weeks ahead of myself. And as soon as something's like over and done with, I'm like, when was that? I have no idea. But anyways, we did spring break. We went to Tucson, Arizona, and it was fantastic. And we had an amazing time and have big goals for moving, hopefully in a year. So not this summer, but next summer. So all of this, we're very lucky. Our job will come with us. We will set up a new workshop, in a new house. And that is shouldn't interrupt anything else business wise. Sorry that I'm a little hoarse and whatnot. I did have the displeasure of getting germs from flying from Tucson back home, and I am still kind of recovering from that. But business must go on. It's kind of a joke when people talk about opening small businesses and becoming small businesses and going from working 9 to 5s to working 24/7. That is a little bit true. But yeah,
I work for myself.
We love it.
No, you're gonna be working for all the people that like to support you.
Exactly. You work for your customers. You work for the people that would share and watch you and do whatever. Bringing up that.
No. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Good week so far. Halfway there, we can do it.
Oh man, oh
We can
man,
do it.
it's crazy. Time speeds up this time of year where you're like, oh my god, what do you mean it's May? We just had January. It just became 2025. How are we almost halfway through? Um, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's going.
Mm-hmm.
It is going.
So John will still be here in the workshop and with the kids when I go out of town. So I am pre-doing all of this stuff for that week. So that's not going to affect anything, not going to really affect shipping. But when we all go out of town, which we do have some trips like that, some for family and some for business trips, then it switches a little bit and we end up combining shipping for a couple weeks. But we make sure that everybody knows and is aware and reads all of that. So that's not for a little bit. So I guess we can say more about that.
You could.
Well, I mean, there's nothing else to say about it until we get to that point. It's more like that's not really relevant.
That Forrest Gump scene now. That's all I have to say about Cool. Well, I reckon not much else to do other than get to it.
Yeah, John is gonna get to churning, and so he'll still be streaming that for a bit. No, not streaming that. Are we wrapping up?
We'll close it up here.
Okay. Well, no turning this time around. However,
I have to reconfigure all the cameras and change it back up. And
that's fair.
I don't want to have y'all suffer through that.
Well, if you are interested in seeing any blanks turned into diamond painting pens, we've probably got quite a few lives up already. If you just want to see the process, we've got some other videos. This tends to have been the format that we're sticking with as far as video content is through lives. But if you want to hear John chat about the actual turning side of things, that is up there. And yeah, you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Thanks for hanging out or for watching this after it's done. Feel free to leave us any questions you have in the comments. We're always happy to answer stuff. We are very straightforward,
open
people. We're happy to answer pretty much anything about what we do. Because I think that's what benefits everybody, benefits customers and business owners like us alike, of people being able to see the reality behind the stuff that they buy and see the impact they make and all that. So yeah. Now I gotta go get my sanding fingers on, which is what I'll be doing most of the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.